Hi, everyone. Welcome to the March 2022 edition of Pitch Perfect. Very excited to have you all here with us today. So ahead of just getting started there, wanted to run through quick kind of forward-looking statements. So just be mindful of the fact that this presentation may contain forward-looking information. There can be no assurance that forward-looking information will prove to be accurate, as actual results in future events could differ materially from those anticipated in the statement. So accordingly, viewers should not place undue reliance on forward-looking information. And now I would like to turn things over to Justin of MRKTBOX to tell us a little bit more about how they are our direct connection to locally grown food with a unique cafe and market model. So I'm very eager to hear more. Take it away, Justin.
Thanks for having me, FrontFundr. So my name is Justin. I am the co-founder and CEO of MRKTBOX, and we are your direct connection to locally produced food. And our mission is pretty simple. We started the business to increase the demand for local grown foods and thereby supporting small businesses and small scale farms. And we kind of live by this quote by Anna Lapp that we truly believe that every time you spend money in your community, you're casting a vote for the type of world that you want. So we envision this idealistic view of cities with robust local economies surrounded by flourishing small-scale farms and businesses. And we truly believe that's what makes a city powerful and engaging in a community. So what's the problem right now? So this is how we see it. The growing demand for local foods, sustainable packaging, and sustainable logistics and ethical farming practices just aren't being met. And why is that? Well, there's a variety of barriers, but basically it comes down to the big players in the business, the big box grocers just aren't willing to come to the table and really address these in any meaningful way. And we believe that this is how consumers see it. And 73% of consumers state that they would change their behavior to reduce their impact. So there's a demand there. And then 69% of Canadian consumers expect companies to tackle these issues head on and to be the solution for them. And so how are we tackling these issues? Well, we're supporting over 300 local vendors. So we're keeping the money in our community. We deliver by cargo bike, electric cargo bike, and we've done over 16,000 kilometers of deliveries by cargo bike, over 150,000 kilometers by electric car, so emissions free. And that's resulted in over 100 tons of CO2 diverted and counting as we continue on with our mission. So how it works, it's pretty simple, but it's unique. And there's no one else that's really got our model, at least here in Canada and frankly in the United States as well. And so we're an all-in-one marketplace combining our unique small micro grocers or hybrid cafes with our low impact delivery model. So we partner with local farms, small businesses, and they deliver to our central warehouse and commissary kitchen. And then from there, we disperse the foods in a sustainable manner to our very carefully picked out locations, cafes in the city. And so why is this better? Well, it means people aren't necessarily driving to the grocery store. It also is making our cities more walkable. Our hybrid cafes and small grocery stores are right in neighborhoods, like right in the middle of thriving neighborhoods in our city. And that's allowing our customers to just walk to our store when they don't want to get delivery, or if they need that last minute item, they can go and pick up those bananas, they can go and pick up that milk or that cheese or the eggs when they need it for their family. And none of the big players allow for this, right? You got to get in your car, you got to drive down the road, you got to get out of your car, you got to walk around in a 40,000 square foot store just to get a couple items. So just to give you a little view of where we've come from and where we're heading, we started with pretty humble beginnings. We were started as an online specific grocer, and we delivered at the beginning entirely by cargo bike. And we started right here in my house, out of my garage. And then we started to grow organically. People started hearing about us in the city. And in 2018, we decided to open up our first brick and mortar grocery store / cafe. That's the Dundurn Market here in Hamilton. And then as we entered into the pandemic, we saw tremendous growth. Our online sales grew by 800, 900% at the peak of the pandemic. And so that really showed us that there was a really big demand for locally grown foods and a way to get it to people safely and conveniently. And so through that growth, we opened another store last summer, the Ottawa Market. And then at the end of 2021 and beginning of 2022, we opened our third store, Strathcona Market. Again, all of these are located right in the neighborhoods. They're all walkable, and they also all function as micro-fulfillment centers for our delivery program. So our stores, they might be small, but they sure are mighty. We've seen significant growth throughout our business lifespan, and about 600% over the 4 years that we've been in business. And that's because we're really able to connect with our customers and get to know them on a human level. And that's really resonated with people that are looking to be more conscious about their purchasing habits. Those stores are also really efficient. So we are constantly outpacing some of the biggest players in the industry on a sales per square foot basis. So you can see Whole Foods down there around 1,000. We're averaging about 1,500 per square foot, which is really, really good for retail grocery. And that same small footprint and that sort of intimate experience allows us to sell higher margin items than traditional big box stores. So whether that's prepared foods that we make at house, or baked goods, or a latte, or flowers that we make in house, we're able to increase not only the transaction value but also the average margin compared to sort of the traditional grocery industry. And then our model and what we stand for aligns well with our customers' values and lifestyles, and because of that, our customer retention rate is very good. And so we're working towards getting B Corp certified in the end of this year. And then looking forward, we plan on exploring franchise model explorations throughout Southern Ontario. We're looking at strategic partnerships and acquisitions to either keep the growth moving forward or also to improve our overall gross margin. And then we're also working on our own technology that will help aid in that sort of franchise model exploration. So I just would like to finish off by saying thank you very much for listening to my pitch, and it's an honor to be here talking to all of you. I would say that you know, if you're going to make an investment in our company, you're making an investment in the local food movement, and you can make an investment for as little as $250. If you have any questions at all, you can reach out to me at justin@mrkbox.com, and there's a QR code that links to our campaign page on FrontFundr. Yeah, thanks everyone.
Great, fantastic pitch, Justin. Really great to hear more about the model of what you guys do. It's definitely completely different from what we see traditional grocers in terms of their structure, and I can see definitely the benefits of something like that through the pandemic and moving forward. So yeah, really enjoyed learning more about that small footprint for the market and cafe, as well as the low impact, high efficiency of your deliveries. Perhaps you can tell us just a bit more of how the concept of MRKTBOX came to be. Like, how do you guys come up with this very unique model?
Yeah. Well, I won't get into too much detail. We don't really have the time for that, but I actually have a small coffee business. We used to deliver our freshly roasted coffee on a subscription basis right to your door in a reusable mason jar. So again, going along with the sustainable packaging. And then you would just leave out your empty mason jars, and next week you get that fresh roasted coffee delivered to your door. So our customers just grew all organically. Again, we haven't spent any money on marketing thus far. And you know, we thought, well, if you like getting coffee delivered, you probably also would like to get some fresh sourdough bread. If you want some bread, you probably would like to get some cheese and eggs and other staples, and then you probably want to get some fresh vegetables. And along with sort of the the natural evolution of that, as well as a real desire to support locally grown foods here in our city. That was sort of the headwaters of the company, so to speak.
That's great. Absolutely. You showed within your presentation a great chart just kind of about the growth that you guys have had, particularly over the last couple of years. And we had a question come through from Mohammed just asking if MRKTBOX is currently profitable. So maybe you can speak a little bit to that and kind of what the plans are for the future.
Yeah. Thanks, Mohammed. Great question. We are profitable. We showed a profit for the last fiscal year, and our growth, over 500% over the last 4 years. We're looking at 120% from last year, our current run rate. So significant growth, and that comes also with us opening our last store at the very end of 2021, beginning of 2022. So I think we've got the real foundation now. We have a fulfillment center, we have a central commissary kitchen, and so now we're able to centralize a lot of our workforce and work more efficiently. So we really feel strongly that we now have the foundation to really grow the e-commerce side of the business, and that being the really scalable side of our business.
That's great. No, fantastic response. And the last question that I'd just like to ask you quickly is the same question that I've asked to the other presenters today, which is just, you're raising $250,000. You've got a $250 minimum investment. And why should people invest in MRKTBOX who are listening today?
Yeah, thanks. Great question. I think it kind of goes back to that quote that I shared in the presentation, that by investing in us, you're casting a vote for the type of world that you want to live in. If you believe strongly in what we're doing, then that's why I think you should invest, because we're trying to tackle those hard issues, whether that be supporting hundreds of local vendors, and that's not easy, right? That's a lot of work, but we're getting really good at it. Whether that's delivering logistics in that last mile, that is the hardest for all businesses. We're really taking that to heart and working hard on getting really good at that, efficient and reducing our emissions. And then we're also really passionate about reducing our waste, our packaging, how we package our deliveries. They go in reusable bins. We try to not to buy produce that comes in plastic. We really take all those sort of criteria at heart in terms of purchasing, as well as just running our business overall.
That's great. Absolutely. I think the concept of voting with your dollars is so important, and really fantastic mission of what you guys are doing. The eco-friendly, sustainable nature of the business is fantastic. So thank you for the great pitch today, Justin. For anyone whose questions we didn't get to, I do encourage you to reach out to them on their campaign page. You can find Justin's direct contact info and also ask them questions through the Q&A. So thanks to everyone who has joined us. Just as we're closing things up today, just wanted to finish, for anyone new who's not as familiar with FrontFundr and what we do, just introduce ourselves in being Canada's leading equity crowdfunding platform. We make it easy for all Canadians to invest in exciting startups and growth stage businesses, just as the 5 that you saw here today. And if you have any questions about getting started on FrontFundr, definitely recommend that you visit our website to learn more, and reach out to our support team at any time. If you have questions, they're able to assist you through the investment process and to answer any questions that you may have about the investment opportunity as well. So to all the attendees who joined us today, really appreciate it. Thanks so much for your time. We hope you join us again for the April edition of Pitch Perfect. And to all of our panelists today, thank you so much for your time, for telling us more about your businesses. It's so great to hear the mission and visions of what you do. You guys all have very admirable goals and are creating, very positive change. So really appreciate that. Thank you so much to everyone, and hope to see you all again soon.